Hi everybody, welcome to 2OG Silk and Stitch and Island Style. I'm Antoinette, your host, and I'm coming to you from the Bay of Fundy on Deer Island. Today's video, I am going to be talking to you. As you can see, I'm going to be doing a tutorial. I do have another tutorial that I did that I was going to upload, and I had this dyslexic moment, so I've got to redo the last part of it. It is a gauge swatch video, which I will be fixing it and uploading it after I get this filmed, before I edit this one. Today's tutorial is on a twisted rib, and the reason I decided to do a tutorial on that is I am participating in the Yarnspirations Patents. It's called the Honeycomb Aran Cable Knit Along, and this is a free pattern. So I'm just going to show you the picture. This is the sweater we are going to be knitting in 4 weeks. And it uses twisted rib rather than your traditional 2x2 rib. And you're saying, what is 2x2 rib? Okay, so I knitted up just a quick few rows, and I'm going to show you what regular rib looks like. And this is I'm going to be using this for the tutorial, so you can see a little bit better on the color on the white background, because my sweater's done in a cream colored yarn. But this is what a regular 2x2 ribbing looks like. Knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2. Okay, so you can see it's just standard ribbing. Now when you do, and there are different ways of doing twisted rib. The way this pattern is doing it is you're twisting the stitches. It's called Ktbl and Ptbl, which means knit through back loop, purl through back loop, which is what I'm going to demonstrate in this tutorial. Now on the twisted stitches, or the twisted rib, okay, this is the right side. It's going to be hard to see, so it'll focus. It's gonna be hard. The rib twists. You can definitely see there's a definitely demarcation, as opposed to on the back, which looks like a traditional rib. It'll look better. It'll be more defined in the darker yarn. One of the benefits of a twisted rib is it seems to be a little bit more durable, a little bit more strong. I'm just going to stop the video here for a second. Okay, there was a knock at the door. Delivering. So that is why I thought I would do this. I have been asked to do some more tutorials, which I'm trying to do, but try not to make them too long. But I want to make them detailed enough that it enables you to do the stitch. As far as pattern tutorials, basically what I'm doing is like a stitch tutorial or a technique tutorial. And don't be afraid to try something new. One of the best ways, and the way I learned to getting back into my knitting after 35 plus years of being away from it, is I just dove right in. Printed up some stitch blocks and just started. And now I grab an advanced intermediate pattern and start, and that's how I do it. I'm not afraid to challenge myself. Frustrated? Absolutely. But it's the only way you're gonna learn. And when you finish it, you feel a sense of accomplishment. So that's why I wanted to come on here and explain to you what I was doing, so you'll be able to. And again, the gauge swatch video will be up. I explained to you why I do the gauge swatch, and as you can see, my new camera setup, we're gonna see how it works. My next thing I gotta work on is better lighting for my tutorials, but my camera is a Nikon. I've talked about it before. It is a Nikon Coolpix. It is not a DSLR where you can change out the lenses. It has one lens. It has zoom and stuff on it, and it does a pretty good job. I mean, it's a Nikon, and it does do a good job. Focusing up too close, I think my problem is the lighting. So we're gonna see how we do. And up here it has the little, which I can see when I'm working on my hands down here. So we'll see. Again, I'm going to do a little video. You can see my whole setup and all the gadgets that I got for doing my tutorials. So we're going to go down to the table. So the next time you see me, you're just going to see my hands. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Feel free to put any comments that, you know, if you like the tutorial, or if there's something I can do better, or if there's an additional, you know, tutorial you'd like to see, whether it's knitting or crocheting or Tunisian. I do have a few tutorials up on my channel. I have them in a playlist. And then I'm going to separate them. Eventually I'm going to get into my playlist for tutorials and separate it to crochet, knit, Tunisian. I had cast-ons for all 3 techniques and stuff like that. So, but eventually I'll be organizing myself a little bit better. One of my goals this year is to get more organized. So, on to the tutorial. Have a great day. Okay, everybody, here we are down at the table. Now, when you're doing regular 2x2 ribbing, you just do your regular knit stitch. So, if you remember, front to back, yarn over, take your stitch off, front to back, take your stitch off, front to back, take your stitch off. And then purl was yarn to the front, and you go from back to front, yarn over, slide your stitch off. So I'll just continue down this row real quick here, and then we'll go to the twisted ribbing. But this is just a regular 2x2 ribbing. Now on the sweater that I'm doing, it's a 1x1. But here I did 2x2 because I figured it would be a little bit easier to keep my hands in camera. And I cast it on 33 stitches. I think on my sweater I have 141 for the size I'm making it for hubby. And I just grabbed a set of straight needles to do this on. I still work with my straight. These were a lovely gift, and I do love these needles. They are really nice to work with. They're knitter's prides, dreams. With, as you can hear, with straight needles you have your little banging on the table, so I do apologize. Where am I at? I'm just looking up to see if I'm still in camera, that my hands stay. Here we are, within the camera. And 1, 2, and just a couple more stitches here, and then I'm going to show you the twisted rib. And knitting through the back loop, knitting through the front loop isn't, I mean, it's basically what it says, but it just show you the technique. And then purl too. Okay. Oops. Missed my stitch. Okay. Turn this over. I'm going to zoom out just a hair here. The first thing we're going to do is knit through the back loop. Here's your stitch. Focus. You gonna focus for me? Zoom it back in again. Okay. To knit through the back loop, I'm going to bring this up to the camera here, and I'm going to show you. Here's the front of your stitch. Okay. To knit through the back loop, just rotate your needle a little bit. You're going to take your needle, and you're just going to knit through the back of the loop like this. Put it through the back of your loop like that. Okay? Then take your yarn and knit it regular. So that's what it would look like. You would knit it regular. And then just slide it off. Okay? Go in the back of your stitch like that. and slide it off. That's knitting through the back loop. We'll do purl to the back loop, and then we'll do a few more sets of the knit to the back loop, purl to the back loop. Now, to purl to the back loop, bring your yarn to the front. Purling to the back loop, everything you're doing is occurring on the back side of your needle. Purling to the back loop, you're going to come from the back, like this, to the front of your loop. Normally when you're purling, you're going from this side, front to back. But purl to the back loop, you're coming from the back to the front, under, let me just open the stitch up here, like this. Here's your stitch. From the back to the front, yarn over, pull your stitch off. I made my stitch too tight. Okay. Here's my loop. See how I'm coming from the back of the stitch to the front. Yarn over, slide it off. Okay, we're going to go back to the knit. Bring your yarn to the back. We're going to knit the back loop. If it's easier if you rotate until you get used to it. Just rotate your needle. Take your needle, find your knit stitch, and put it in that back loop. Take your yarn, wrap it around your needle, finish your stitch. One more. Slide through the back loop, wrap your yarn, finish your stitch. And we're going to do 2 more purls. Bring your yarn to the front. We're going to go from back. This is a little bit more awkward doing your purl through the back loop. Like that. Can you see how that is? It's not focusing. See if I can get it to focus a little bit better. So you can see the position of that needle. That's what I'm trying to get you to see. You can see the position of the needle. Where you're bringing it through, and you just wrap your yarn and finish your stitch. We're going to do another one. Come from the back. Come from the back. Put your yarn to the back. Knit to the back loop. Do your stitch. Knit to the back loop. Finish your stitch. Yarn to the front loop. Excuse me. Yarn to the front of your work. Come from the back of your stitch. I made my stitches too tight. Yarn over. Finish your stitch. One more. I made my stitches too tight. Doing this, it's an awkward stitch trying to do it this way around the camera. Let me just zoom this out a little bit. Okay. Back to front, yarn over, finish your stitch, yarn to the back, knit to the back loop, yarn over, finish your stitch, through the back loop, finish your stitch, yarn to the front, back to front. Once you start doing it, it gets more natural. Back to front, finish your stitch, back to front, finish your stitch. So up close, I'm going to show you when you're doing your knit stitch, okay? I'm going to rotate my piece here. This is where your stitch is. You're going to the knit. There's the front of your work. That's the back, and that's where your needle's going. So you just yarn over and knit it. In the back of my work, yarn over, knit it. Bring your yarn to the front. Okay? Come back to front. There's the back of your back of your work looks like. Okay? You're coming from back to front. See how the yarn is? I'm pulling on the stitch here so you can see it. There's your stitch. You're coming from the back to the front. And then you just yarn over. Come from the back to the front, yarn over, and finish your stitch. So that is twisted rib, knitting through the back loop and purling through the back loop. And when it's done, it twists the stitches. It'll twist the stitch. So see, if you look at the back here, let's see if we can put it up against the purple. That just looks like regular ribbing. But if you turn it, you can see everything is twisted. Everything's turning this way. And that's just because you're knitting through the back loop. Because on the right side it's a knit stitch, but when you flip it over, you're purling through the back loop, but on the right side it's going to show as a knit stitch. Thus, it's a twisted knit stitch. So that is your twisted rib. And if you want, go to Yarn Inspirations, get this pattern, and join us in a knit along. It's four weeks if you want to challenge yourself to some cables. That's just a pattern I got. I'm going to be making some drawstring bags. So, wait for the next tutorial. Have a great day. Feel free to leave me some comments. Let me know. I apologize if there was a problem of focusing in and out, but I'll work on the focusing. And like I said, I will be getting a new camera eventually. I will be getting a regular DSLR camera where I can change lenses. Have a great day, everybody. Hugs, smiles, and happiness. Pass it on. Make the world a better place. Here's bye for now from Deer Island. See you in the next video.